in 3, 2, 1. Hi, Arlene.
Hi, Leonard.
We are doing our number 10. This is the 10th bare bones and upfront selfie. I'm here in this beautiful studio in downtown Toronto. Thank you so much for inviting us into your space.
Thank you for coming here.
One of the first questions that I keep on asking because I think it's so relevant for this series is why Toronto? Why do you do what you do in this city? Why not go to Vancouver or Montreal or Nashville or New York? What keeps you in Toronto?
Well, that's interesting. Well, I came here initially a really long time ago, chasing a boy who was a musician. And I was a songwriter, but I was young. I was 21, so I was a sitting in my bedroom songwriter. And I didn't really consider myself to be a songwriter, but he was pretty encouraging. Um, he went to visit family, and then he said he was going to be moving to Toronto, and I lived in Ottawa at the time. And I said, what a coincidence. I'm going to move to Toronto, too. So I packed up my bags, and I moved to Toronto, and he moved in with me. You know, because what a coincidence. You're moving to Toronto now. I've got an apartment. You could come and live with me. I'm giving that way. And so he moved in, and he lived his life as a musician, and I lived my life as a cashier at Steve's Music Store. And I did a little bit of musicianing, a little bit of songwriting, and I met a bunch of musicians. And then completely unexpectedly, he was a young man, but completely well, anyway, he passed away in his sleep. Yeah. And suddenly, I found myself with a musician's guitar that it almost seemed like he'd left this big vault of information, left it behind for me. And I knew all these musicians, and he had been recording an album. So his good friend, who was producing him, Colin Linden, said we should run a fundraiser to finish this album. And Colin, sweetheart that he is, knew that I played a little bit, and he said, well, why don't you perform? You want to do one of Roger's songs, one of Roger Rainbow's songs at the benefit. So I said, oh, okay, never having done it before. Anyway, so I played at the Horseshoe at this big benefit, all kinds of fantastic musicians who were really giving in the community and really supportive, and I loved the performance. I loved being on stage. And I think that really made an impression to me. That my first real impression of the Toronto music community is that it was caring and supportive and inclusive. So from there, I continued performing. I got a residency at the Cabana Room and another one at the Cameron House. And I just started playing a lot. And I started writing a lot because Roger's death, having happened in my bed, created a bit of a sleep disorder for me. So I suddenly found myself with all kinds of spare time and all kinds of emotions that I had no idea what to do with and no idea how to channel them. And they ended up coming out of my music. So I just felt right and appreciated and appropriate in Toronto. I stayed here. And then eventually I married, and then I had a baby, and now I have a 12-year-old son, and I am stuck here now because I'm not going to uproot him, and I can't uproot his father. And I like Toronto. I've performed in Vancouver, and I love Vancouver, and I've performed in Montreal, and I love it there too. And I love playing in New York, and I love playing in France. I love playing in San Francisco. All fabulous places, in Medicine Hat and Winnipeg and Halifax, all beautiful places. But for some reason, Toronto still feels like home to me.
Does Toronto still have that magic that you kind of touched on, that type of caring and inclusive piece now as it did before? Is it changed?
It's interesting, you know, a lot of people wonder that. It's certainly been my experience that yes, it still has that quality. But I'm a bit particular about the company that I keep. So I don't spend a lot of time with people who aren't supportive and caring. So my experience is that the art community here, the artist community, the painting community, the illustration community, the graphics, the engineering, the music, the songwriting, that is a very open group of people. They're protective of their own, sure. But yeah, I'd say, I think it's a good bunch.
In your songwriting, you've touched on a bit of at least the beginning of what gave you kind of your drive to be able to write. What do you take now as inspiration for what you put into song?
Well, I've always had a hard time expressing my emotions. Actually, I'm a bit repressed. Although I think as I get older, and I think as I have more experiences and I get closer and closer to a breakdown, it becomes more and more necessary to express my feelings in a positive way without hurting myself and hurting the people around me, and challenging things like sadness and anger. I can express them. I can use my words now. But for many years, I used songs to express those emotions. So if I felt that I had been wronged or forgotten or whatever it was that made me feel angry, I would express it in a song. And I would be really cagey about it, I thought. Terribly cagey. I'd talk about you or her or him, but really I was talking about myself most of the time. Most of the time I'm talking about myself.
Never a bad thing. If we wanted to put you in a category genre box, what would that be?
It's tricky. I don't know if I think everybody probably has this problem, but I now enjoy that question. I hated that question forever because I can't say that I'm pop, and I can't say that I'm rock, and I can't say that I'm orchestral. I can't say any of those things. I'm certainly not jazz. But what am I? So now I think, okay, well, I can't. I'm not folk because there are no ships sinking, or there are no melodies in my songs.
Someone actually said that folk is a dirty word.
I suppose maybe it is. I don't know, singer-songwriter. That was the easy. A few years ago, the good diversion was to say, well, I'm a singer-songwriter. That's my category. But I would say that I'm folk, but I would spell it Fauxlk, or I would say that I'm like pop noir, or that I'm what am I? I'm some kind of existential melodic poet. I don't know. I don't know what I am, really.
I like the last one. That was
you
cool.
like existential melodic poet? I think I'd like to be a poet. When I grow up, that's what I'm going to do. There's a lot of money in poetry, I
think there is. Yeah. And speaking on genre as such, you're going to perform something for us right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I don't know if I should introduce it. No, I'm not even going to.
Okay.
People can be cruel. People can be cruel. People can be cruel. People can be kind. Some people can stay out late and make you wait all night. People can be rude, it's true, treat you so unkind. Some people can be your kind of people, but not be mine. But if they want to speak, you gotta let them sing. And if they want to hang, you've got to let them swing. Give them lots of rope, sit back and hold. That when they fall, you're not standing underneath. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? People can be bought, people can be sold. Some people can tell you what the word has gone stone cold. People can be quick to quit with no one left to hold. Some people are just the kind of people you can't know. But if they want to speak, you've got to let them sing. And if they want to hang, you've got to let them swing. Give them lots of rope, but sit back and hold. That when they fall, you're not standing underneath. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean?
Thank you so very much.
Thank you.